Chapter 6 of the Midglings. The journey continued long into the afternoon, Greytuft pointing out the many and various landmarks far below them. "Those are the Scarsbottom Hills," he told the Midglings, nodding his huge head downwards. Bron and Astar looked over the side of his body and saw, far, far below them, a huge range of rolling hills. They looked rather formidable hills from up here, so what they must be like at ground level left Bron thinking he'd sooner not want to be walking in them at all. Astar shivered slightly as she stared at the hills. They reminded her of the waves of the river from yesterday, which immediately brought back the memory of how close they had all come to losing their lives. "Top forest up ahead, folks. Last chance for a good look round. We'll be landing in about 20 minutes' time." Greytuft was becoming slightly tired now. It had been a long flight, even by his standards. He would need to have a rest pretty soon. The Midglings looked ahead of themselves and saw a huge expanse of trees looming up from the distance. As far as the eye could see, the trees seemed to stretch on and on forever. It was most certainly a big forest. Greytuft very slightly dropped down from his high altitude now. He was preparing to come in for a landing. Not that Bron could see this so-called magical village of Astaria anywhere yet. "You'll see Astaria in about 5 minutes, my friends, just to the right of the direction we're heading." Everyone looked excitedly over the top of Greytuft's head, searching for their first glimpse of their new home. "Wind's not too bad, old bean. Should be a nice landing. Hold on tightly though, just in case, eh?" Greytuft dipped his right wing and slowly began to descend even lower now. He circled just above the tops of the trees and gradually sailed slightly further northeast during his circling flight. "There, what's that?" Bron shouted as he looked down towards the east of their position. "That, my dear old bean, is Astaria, your new home." Greytuft let out a shrill squawk from the back of his throat. "Just making sure our landing area is clear of other birds. Don't want no nasty surprises at this stage of the game, now do we?" Astar looked down on the village from a marvellous vantage point. It really did look quite magical in the afternoon sunshine. She could see many small cottages, all different shapes and sizes. Some larger style houses also visible. A large church sat almost in the centre of the village, and she could see people moving about in the small lanes and roads around the village. "Going down, my friends," Greytuft called quietly back to them, the signal for them to hold on. Just in case, as the big bird put it. He circled round once and lined himself up on a spot just ahead. Fly round to approach the spot whilst heading into the wind, he slowly and carefully dropped lower and lower. Bron watched quietly as the ground rushed up to meet them. He gripped a handful of Greytuft's feathers tightly, but it was all in vain though. The huge heron suddenly arched its back and lifted its head, both wings flapping forward slightly, acting like a braking system on its own momentum. Both feet hit the ground at precisely the same time. Greytuft took 2 or 3 small steps and then stopped altogether. The flight of the Midglings was over. "Perfect landing, Greytuft," Bron called out, grateful to be back on solid ground now. "But of course, old chap. You expected something different, perhaps?" Everyone laughed at Greytuft's false modesty. "Not from you we didn't, Greytuft. Nothing but the very best from you." Astar tickled another handful of the heron's feathers, which made him shiver with pleasure. "Ooh, that really is nice, my dear. Thank you." The children burst out laughing as the huge heron shivered involuntarily at the sheer bliss of having his back scratched like this, and he made a funny gurgling noise in the back of his throat. "Bron! Hey, Bron! Astar, over here! We're over here!" The family looked towards the sound and saw 2 of the Midglings waving their arms at them like maniacs. "Cosmos! Hi, Cosmos! Here we are!" Greytuft slowly sat himself down once more and let the Midglings slide down his feathers into the long soft grass below. His poor old wings felt like lead right now. He would rest a while before moving on. Now you take care, my little friends, won't you? Astaria is a strange place, full of all sorts of magic, but they are good people all the same, and you will be made welcome here. Greytuff looked round at Bron and the rest of the family, careful not to swing his beak too fast and knock somebody's head off their shoulders. Thank you for everything, Greytuff, old friend. I shall not forget what you have done for me, for my family. Shall I see you again? Bron stroked the heron's feathers lightly. Oh, goodness gracious, yes, my dear old bean. I'll not be far away from here, you know. I'll drop by from time to time to see how you are all doing. Astar walked round to the front of the huge bird and gave him a wonderful kiss on the tip of his beak. You had better pop in to see us well, Greytuft. I shall be baking my very own recipe of wild seed pie with bramble gravy. Greytuft's beak began watering at the very thought of the pie. Bron had given him a portion of Astar's pie before. It was the most delicious he had ever tasted. Madam, you have my word on it. I shall not be a stranger at your door. Hello, Bron. Hi, Astar. The other two Midglings had arrived at the side of the newcomers by now. What a novel way to travel. We thought you were coming down the Great River. Comet spoke excitedly as he looked at the giant bird sitting on the warm grass. A few problems, Comet. I'll tell you all about them later. This is my son, Sol, and my daughter, Luna. Children, this is my cousins, Comet and his brother, Cosmos. Welcome to Astaria, children. Welcome, one and all. Cosmos said. Come along then, you lot. We've got a lovely little cottage arranged for you. It's right next door to our own. Bidding Greytuff goodbye, the family followed Cosmos and Comet out of the large grassy field. A final wave of cheerio for the wonderful heron as they went through the gate, and they were all talking together excitedly. As they strolled down a small lane, a tall lady, dressed in black and purple, walked the other way. As they met, she said, Good day to you, Midgling Bron, Midgling Astar, Sol, Luna. She bowed slightly and her jet black hair swept down across her face slightly. Good day to you too, madam, Bron replied politely. This is some of your family, I take it, Cosmos. Oh yes, Lady Astar. Sorry, Bron is my cousin. Yes, I know. Welcome to Astaria, my dear Midglings. May your stay be long and fruitful. Why, thank you, Lady Astar. Bron returned a small bow in respect for the lady as she carried on walking in the opposite direction. Who was that, Comet? He asked as he watched the lovely lady walking away. That is Lady Astar, Bron. I see you've told everyone of our coming then, Cosmos. Bron laughed at his cousin's unease. Actually, no, Bron. We haven't told anyone you were coming. Not yet. Cosmos was still looking at the back of the lady in black walking down the lane. Well then, how did that lady, Astar, know who we were then, silly? She's a witch, Bron. A good witch by and by. She seems to know everything. Well, she seemed jolly nice to me, Astar put in her opinion. Besides, with a name like that, she has just got to be nice, hasn't she? Everyone burst out laughing at the similarity between the names of the two women as they walked on into the village itself. The cottage that Cosmos and Comet had arranged for Bron and his family was indeed lovely. In fact, it was perfect for them all. Built almost identically to the cottage that Comet and Cosmos lived in, it was ideally situated in the village. Cosmos and Comet had a quick walk round to see if they could scrounge, borrow, or buy some new clothes to replace the ones everyone had lost when their boat had capsized. And Bron was so surprised when they returned with armfuls of items kindly given by the people of Astaria. Most of it was a bit too big, but Astar said she could soon alter these items to fit, and made Cosmos and Comet promise to take her around the village so she could meet and thank everyone personally, just as soon as they'd all had a nice cup of tea. It had been a long day for everyone. but Bron sat in a small armchair with a smile on his face. He would miss Rivet in the Dell a lot, and he'd miss his friends too. But it seemed that Astaria had made them all welcome, and they would soon make new friends here. It seemed to be that sort of a place they could all now happily call home. The end. Hello, my name's Alan Walker. I am the creator of Astaria and the author of the books that you're listening to. I hope you've enjoyed them, and I hope you will come down to see this wonderful magical village called Astaria. Thank you.